Thank you very much, Navin. I know at this point you're probably saturated, and it's very difficult for a person coming last to speak and bring closing remarks when everything that I would have wanted to say had been said before. But just bear with me just for a couple of minutes. You know, as I was sitting there and I saw so many people present and then the rains came, I began to reflect on water and agriculture. It's a term I don't like to use, agriculture. I prefer to use agri-food chain, right, the value chain. And it is said that the Third World War will be fought over water. A very, very important thing. Water, one of the most precious commodities. Last night, you know, as I came from, as the chairman said, I came from what is called Upper Fest, right, at our Performing Arts, Academy for the Performing Arts in Port of Spain, and witnessed what our students were doing. And I reached home close to 12 last night. And I just lied down and said, what would I say in closing remarks? And I fell in a dream. And then when I got up, and in that dream, I saw a vision. I was stranded, in fact, on a small island, 2,000 square miles, right, formerly called La Trinity. And there were a group of young people dressed in a uniform written like this, UTT. And they're telling me that in my message, closing remarks here, I should bring to the attention of the population of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the world at large, really what is the mission of UTT, because somehow I feel that the people, all sectors of our community, do not really appreciate what UTT is all about. And last night, I witnessed one of the most startling performances by our young people in the performing arts. And these are students who were simply performing for a grade in their final year project. And it was comparable to anything that you would hear anywhere else in London or New York. And then I asked myself, why can't we now capture that talent and make it create wealth for our people? And then on Wednesday, we had a graduation ceremony for young people in Trinidad and Tobago. Many of them can't make it, but partnering with Atlantic LNG, well, it's now Atlantic, and the UTT to educate them in short training programs. Right? It seems as we would have to fight the Third World War here in Trinidad, right? So we have the water. Yes. Training them in the elements of the business aspect of agriculture, not in the hardcore science. And what we were seeing there reflected what the mission of UTT is all about. We are an entrepreneurial university, right? We want to ensure that our graduates become successful entrepreneurs and using knowledge to create wealth for the benefit of our people. And that is what we were seeing on Wednesday. They were not being taught hardcore agriculture and Islamic. We were telling them the business aspect of agriculture. So that's Wednesday. Next week, we'll be witnessing our young students in the fashion area displaying their final project. And I would really advise every single one of you to be present next week at the John Donaldson campus, our creativity campus, to see what our young children are producing. 2 years ago, a young fashion designer from UTT was recognized at the London Fashion Show as one of the 10 top persons in the world to watch. That is what UTT is doing. And therefore I ask myself, what is the purpose of education? Is it to get a degree and simply look for a job? That is not what UTT is all about. And I want this to be ingrained in your minds, because you are the ones who are going to influence the young ones, isn't that so? And you have to tell them, because from education, we have to see a product coming out of it. education and skills training leading to entrepreneurship and wealth creation and a social cohesive society. It's not only wealth creation, but to create a socially cohesive society. And our chairman was talking about that. At the end of the month, we'll be holding a Caribbean conference on the law of the sea, the importance of the sea and maritime. Also, yes, last night, we opened for the first recording studio as part of our operations for the students. It's the only one in the Caribbean. So our students, in fact, will be producing their own products as part of their training. We're not waiting until they go out. We are also setting up the first fashion studio in any university in the Caribbean. So our students within the training program will be exposed to the business aspect of it. And colleagues, UTP has been getting money from the European Union to facilitate all of these people. It means that the European Union and the government of Trinidad recognizes what UTP is all about. What we are seeing here today is also another aspect of it. And Minister, also the President of the Agricultural Society, colleagues, agriculture is a bastard word in Trinidad and Tobago. The young people today are not interested in the word agriculture for some simple reason, because the perception of agriculture, and UTP is changing that perception. In fact, at our ECIAT campus, we have integrated agriculture with food science and technology, and therefore what we should be talking about is the agri-food chain. The money in agriculture is at the downstream end, just as gas is at the downstream end. And every young person is looking at agriculture as going in the fields in the rain and the sun with a fork and a hoe. That is not the only aspect, that's the primary aspect of it, the upstream part. And how many of you have ever thought of KFC and Mario's and rituals as agriculture? And if we could inculcate that into our young people, then we would begin to see the difference in the approach to agriculture. And this is what we are doing at the back. So we have fused food science and technology. And many of the students who come to UTP may not be the national scholarship winners, but I can tell you they are the most creative and innovative young people that we can find. And we at UTP are trying to do that sort of thing. So we see education and innovation as the foundation of a developed society. And what we need, and we also, for this to be successful, UTT is a firm advocate of what is called the triple helix approach. Countries have indicated to us there's no way to national development if we do not involve the public sector, the private sector, and the educational sector together in terms of development. We cannot do it by ourselves. And one of the things we need to know is that the government should only be a facilitator of development. A facilitator. It's the private sector that drives national development. And at UTT, all our programs involve advisory boards involving people from industry who will look at our curriculum, advise us, provide training for our students. So every single program, and we have to commend our chairman for that vision, we have advisory boards. So we need to bring in the agri-food chain, our private sector people very early in the food chain, not at the end of it. So we should not be spending time here developing products in our little labs by ourselves on Moringa, and afterwards we try now to commercialize it. The other thing I would recommend is that all of us in this society must see our market not as 1.3 million people. That is the problem that we are facing. We must not see it as 3.5 million people in CARICOM. What should be our market? Our young people, 7.5 billion people. That must be the market, and it can be a reality. You don't have to be big, because what is important today is that we need to take knowledge fueled by the power of the human imagination, creativity and innovation to create wealth for the benefit of all its people. That is what the new raw material. So we need to move from the concrete, what we see around us, to the abstract, that is the intellectual thing, and back into a product. So we see Moringa there. What could we do with that? Bring it into the power of the human imagination, create a product, and you create wealth. And that is what UTT is all about. And finally, I would like to just state that if we are going to create agripreneurs, and that's a term I coined about 4 years ago, agripreneurs, that is what we need to produce, not agriculturists. We need to start doing some fundamental things. One, we need to infuse in all our curriculum all the various aspects of the agri-food chain, from the primary school right up to the tertiary level. Not agriculture as a subject teaching botany and zoology, etc., but the value chain. So whether you're doing economics, you're looking at it. Whether you're doing health and wellness, you're looking at the agri-food chain. So that's the first thing, infusing all the elements of the agri-food chain into our curriculum at all levels. The second thing we need to do is to empower our young people. Let them have a voice, right, in policy decisions. We need to call upon them. They're the future leaders. And the media, I'm appealing to the media to give the youth a voice. We can do that very easily. It doesn't cost money. And the third aspect, of course, is what I talk about, innovation. So in closing, I want to thank, first of all, our minister. He has been a firm supporter of the activities of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and in fact, the development of what I call food and nutrition security rather than agriculture. That is what we do. A firm supporter. His entire message was food security and nutrition. Very, very important, because you need a healthy nation to have a productive nation. So we want to commend our minister, and we look forward to your continued support, minister, for the activities of UTT. Remember, it's a partnership. We cannot do it by ourselves. I also want to, of course, thank our chairman. As you know, no words could ever express the contribution of our chairman to national development. Our chairman is the father of Point Lisa's industrial estate. When everyone was doubting, he firmly believed. And today, without, of course, that industrial estate, I don't know what would have happened to Trinidad and Tobago. Having seen that, where the natural product was gas, he now realized that new natural product should be what? Knowledge. And that led to the development of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, where we are looking at knowledge into wealth creation. And today we are the only university, I think, that has a functioning incubator, a business incubator. And we have 70+ students who have now become entrepreneurs and set up their own business. And this again is being funded by the European Union. So they recognize what it is in the transformation of our economy. So we want to really commend our chairman for that vision. Of course, we also want to thank our representative from the Indian High Commission here in Trinidad for his presence here. And I was speaking to him earlier on, and I referred him to our new campus, which is to be opened in the new academic year, 2017-18 at Tamana. And that setting, again, is our vision of our chairman, is in an innovation park, the ETEC Park. Notice what we are doing. Our university is set up in an innovation park. It's like the Silicon Valley. So all around the UTT signature building will be the high-tech companies. And there will be the synergies between the university and the high-tech companies. And that is the vision of UTT. But again, UTT cannot do it by itself. We need all the elements to come together if we are going to achieve success. So I was referring to this. India is well known. Bangalore is in fact now called the knowledge city, right, of ICT. And in any way we can allow cooperate with our partners, because it's said that diversity plus inclusion is equal to innovation. So we need to bring in the partners wherever they are, working together if we are going to transform the society. And we also, of course, want to thank Dr. Bujmohan and his staff. In fact, it is really a collective effort. The Corporate Communications Department, the Business Development Unit, BAF, etc., coming together to make this event a success. And finally, I want to thank all of you, right, for your presence here. It's very important. You lend support, and we can make the difference if we want. What my final word here is, do not let the various ideas thrown out here today demit from your brains when you walk out of this facility. Let the crucial conversations continue in the schools, in the homes, in the ministries, etc. We want that crucial conversation to continue so we can see the value of these effects. Again, thank you, and I hope you have a very, very productive and meaningful day. Thank you very much.